Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Friday, June 16th, 2023. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Friday, everyone. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES right here. A big time push right out of the gate to begin June, and in the first half of the month here, we've seen a tremendous rally to the upside, a breakout through the 4,200 zone, and a continuation not only through 4,400 but en route to test 4,500 and the upper edge of the larger market structure at 4,600. So this market has been on fire here, very, very strong. Again, unfadable at the moment. Instead, bulls looking to buy into weakness, and weakness may be very short-lived. Mentioned before, it could only be early in the morning and then you're turning right back around, or no weakness at all. This thing just goes. There has been a day or two here where we've seen a little pullback, but outside of that, it's been a buying opportunity for a continuation higher on a swing basis. Big time push away from 4,400, so even if we do get pullback here toward the rising 8-period average, it's still an opportunity to extend this thing until proven otherwise. Today could be a range bound with an upward bias type of day, given the previous session's range. Rather wide, so today could be a hold day, check mark trend day with an upward bias. You can see right here, huge high range day the previous session. Today we're at 55.8% of average range, so narrow range with an upward bias here as we head into the weekend, likely closing on highs. If we take a look here at the NQ, this one has been aggressively bullish. One pullback here, a tremendous squeeze, sideways with a pullback here, and even more tremendous squeeze as this market is now pushed through 15K and the 15,250 edge. So big time strength here out of this one. You can see how bullish the bullish Pima trigger zone remains, and this is 2 months of very aggressive strength here. And overall, the market here, again, unfadable. It's buy the dips until proven otherwise. It's defend morning weakness, and if we do see, a day of counter trend price action, it could be one day short-lived before we turn around and continue higher yet again. That's been the way this market has been here for a couple of months here, at least 6-7 weeks. So we could be looking at further strength until proven otherwise, and any pullback could still be bought. Again, today, very similar to the ES, perhaps a more narrow range than normal compared to the previous session's high range day. Still an upward bias, sideways to up, and closing at or near the highs of the week. If we take a look at crude oil here, crude oil right now, there we go, crude oil here, dropping into 67s and finding another way to bounce yet again, very similar to what we've seen already before around this point. The previous session, price was able to bounce and push through 70. I mentioned if this thing can push through 70, it opens up an attempt back across the range towards 74s. This market still remains in a downtrend, so even if we do bounce, it could be another opportunity to sell it for perhaps a breakthrough 67 down the road, which could open up new lows ahead. So right now, showing strength, checkmark trend day up with a potential push towards 73 and perhaps even as high as 74 up ahead in the next week of trading. If we take a look at gold futures, in the previous session we noted how the early rejection was beginning to develop at 1940s. Price was still trading sub 1950 at the moment, and then this thing proceeded to have a tremendous rally, pushed back through the previous session's midpoint, nearly coming an outside day up. Huge high range day as well, as you can see here on the advanced ADR indicator. It was a lower low failure at the previous month's low, tremendous rejection, and the idea was that we could rally back toward 1970, the middle of the range, which it did already, and we could even see a move back toward 2000. Pushing through 2000 would open up the upper portion of the previous range here, but right now this market showing a little bit of initial weakness here at the previous month's close price. That price has been offered here lately, but that was the idea here. If we get an early pullback this morning, could price make a move to the previous close here and perhaps a little bit of over draft into about the 1985, 1986 zone. Can it get that move here? Overall, a failure to hold the midpoint of this rejection bar on a daily closing basis up ahead could be a massive failure event if that were to happen. So strong day one rejection, looking for this thing to flow higher until proven otherwise. Failure to hold that midpoint could be significantly bearish. Lastly, taking a look at the YM. The YM with a big continuation up, quite a bit of volatility being seen in the YM. This was a huge range day here the previous session, over 600 points of range. The previous day, a big dose of weakness here, but a tremendous squeeze back to highs. 34,800 here is the high. And you see just a tremendous initial breakout on that day. Tremendous rally now through recent highs, through the 34,600 level. This market remains quite bullish at the moment. Again, this is new territory for the Dow this year. Hasn't been as vertical as, say, the NQ. It has coiled up and compressed here. We're now kind of toward the upper end of this range. Do we turn back down, or does this thing start to stretch for the upper portion of this range? The 100% target here will take you into about 35.8, and then you have 36.8 as the previous year's high. How much more upside can we get up ahead? Again, once you have a significant move of this magnitude, you may see some sort of range-bound action that can tend to lead to additional strength ahead. Can we build additional energy to fuel the next moves ahead? That's going to be something that we'll keep an eye on. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the weekend. Happy Friday. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the trading room. Take care.